Congratulations to Apple. It had to happen at some point. They got their first flop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I feel sorry for poor Dua Lipa. I think this is her first film that she's a part of. Did you ever see any of the trailers for Argyle?
No.
Yeah, it's one of those, when you see the trailer, it's one of those things where you think, most of this is stuff I've seen before, and the CGI on the cat looks terrible, and the reviews were brutal. $200 million budget. Opening weekend, $18 million.
Not ideal.
So no, it's Apple's first flop. So it had to come at some point.
Well, so. I think they have the money to cover it.
Yep.
Juice!
Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Rex. I'm Corbin.
I'm Rick.
And you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter for more juicy content. Thank you to everybody who supports on Patreon. Follow us on our Facebook, Twitter account. Subscribe if you haven't, and hit that like button. That was bouncy.
That was very bouncy.
Kind of like your mom.
Ooh.
Today.
In what way, Corbin? How does she bounce?
This is a video that was released on a channel called Max
Chernoff.
3 weeks ago. The truth about Indians as told by a foreigner.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of?
What?
A foreigner telling us the truth about Indians reminds me of me last night watching the Grammys. I'm sitting back and, damn, what's his name? Travis Scott, who I've never seen perform live, is about to do his thing, and I leaned back and I crossed my arms. I said, okay, let's see if this kid can rap. And I looked at Indrani and I said the white 55-year-old dude sitting on a couch.
Well, if you were Eminem, that would hold true.
Dude doesn't stop killing. You ever heard any of his recent stuff?
Yeah.
Dude is just a freak.
Anyway,
Eminem is a freak.
But I think this is a guy that moved to Mumbai, and he lives there.
Got it.
For work and stuff. So here we go.
To live amongst a bunch of foreigners.
Yeah.
You know, I came to Mumbai to live with Indians.
This is Glenn, a globally award-winning theatre director from Australia. He moved to India 9 years ago and now resides in Mumbai.
Oh, thank you.
We took a walk across his
there's
more
more.
touristy neighborhood, and he shared with me why it's extremely safe for foreigners, how to inspire a beggar boy to love theater, and why Indians are the most successful immigrants in the US. I'm Max, an entrepreneur and YouTuber. Let's go.
So this is my strip.
So this area you've been living for how long?
1 year.
There are not many foreigner faces here. It's very
All the horns.
In my last year here, I've probably seen 3, and I've always said to them, are you lost? You know, why are you here? It's not a tourist destination,
Yeah.
but in a way, in one aspect, I wish it was, because this is real Mumbai.
What's the chance I get my camera stolen like that, just walking the streets, like someone just grab it and run away?
Street crime is very rare here. Very, very rare. I mean, I even had an occasion where my first time ever in India, and we had a brand new camera, and we left it in the rickshaw and went into the theatre. And then we remembered. We came out, and the rickshaw driver had been waiting for 2 hours for us.
Oh my God.
To give us back our camera, you know.
Wow. That's so sweet.
It's pretty much common knowledge that street crime is very rare here. I mean, if you're sitting in a really public cafe and you leave your camera right on the edge near the street, of
in
course
any
someone may
city.
take it. Like anywhere in the
I
world.
would take it.
But theft is seen as something incredible.
That'll happen in Beverly Hills, guys.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. It's not a place where people walk around saying good morning, but I maintain that. It's one of my little, I'm not gonna let go of that. I mean, I really enjoy communicating with people. So I tend to say good morning to everyone who I recognise. In fact, this watchman now says good morning to me usually first.
Oh, okay.
Before I say good morning to him.
Yeah, this guy.
But it took me like a good 3 months to get him to say good morning back. Again, it's understandable. It's
Yeah, I don't
just
trust you.
27 million people. You can't say good morning to everyone. Good morning. Kezo. Good. Ek packet superstar dena. My friend from Singapore. It's such a strong mix here of Hindu and Muslim and Catholics and everything else in between. And so no one is really that fussed who you are. There's some areas that I've lived in where I've literally had people from other apartments knocking on my door and saying, who are you? Are you a Christian? I had one landlord, because I was a foreigner, accusing me of being a drug dealer and wanted to look in my wardrobe. But here, I mean, there's just such a you know, it's such a multicultural city, but this is one of the epicenter of multiculturalism.
Yeah.
You know, you've got everything in this little area, and that's what I love. It's eclectic.
It's
you know.
eclectic, yeah.
You can have, there's a chai walla that will do it, you know, with more cumin, and there's another chai walla that will do it with more, you know, sugar, and that's because they're from different areas of the country and they make chai differently.
Oh, that guy's
so,
cool.
you know, it's very, very mixed here, which is one of the main things I love. Again, in some areas I could be walking down the street and total strangers will come up and say, selfie, selfie. You know, because they want to take a photo with a foreigner. And I'm not a very good tourist. I don't like, I like the fact that I'm one person amongst 27 million people. And I can sort of disappear in that. And in places like Versova, once people get used to the fact that there's a white person living in the area, you know, it's just Glenn. He buys our goods, he eats at our restaurant, he buys my chai, and it's just like anybody else. I mean, of course, there's the fascination of learning about other cultures, and they ask me as many questions as I ask them. It's a very friendly area. It's fantastic. And I mean, even here, with these two seats, the other day, I was waiting for some takeaway, and the guy sitting there said, "Hi, how are you?" And I went, "Hi." And we ended up talking for like 20 minutes, you know, about everything, you know. And he said, "Oh, I'm here all the time. Come and say hello." And that's what I love, is that now I know, you know, that there's somebody, another person to communicate with.
My name is Sanjeev Thakur.
Hi, Sanjeev.
From Savan. How are you fine?
So Diwali's coming up, so there's a lot more beggars on the street. A lot more. This young boy, 17 or 18, was trying to sell me postcards. And I'd been here a couple of years, and I don't want postcards, I don't want, and he kept saying, "Buy my postcard, buy my postcard, buy my postcard." No, 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 no. And then he said, "Buy my banana." I said, "I beg your pardon?" He said, buy my banana. What? And I said, "Do you have a condom on you?" And he went, "No." I said, "Right, sit down." And I rolled him a cigarette. I said, "You do not go up to middle-aged white men offering your banana and you don't have a condom on you." I said, "No way, you've got to think of your health," and blah, 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 blah. He's going, "Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." I said, "Have you ever been to the theatre?" And he said, no, what, you know, natak, drama. And he said, no. I said, "Okay, I'm going to put 2 tickets at the door because I've got a show opening tomorrow night, I think it was. And you can come, do not be late, bring a friend, and come and watch the theatre." And it was a 1960s Polish play about totalitarianism. Absurdist.
Okay.
I thought it'll be really interesting to see what this guy thinks. And he came and he arrived, and I sat up the back and held his and his friend's hand because they were quite nervous of being there. And I let them take photos through it all, you know, blah, blah, blah. And afterwards I said, "What did you think?" And he said, "It's changed my life." Wow. It was probably one of the best pieces of audience feedback I'd ever received in my life. That this young guy who was prepared to sell himself, let alone just postcards, was then sitting in a theatre watching a 1960s Polish play about totalitarianism, and his comment being, "It changed my life." And I kept in touch with him, and I would meet up with him for coffee every year. And it's only been the last couple of years I've lost touch, but he's moved back to his home village. He now sells jeans, and he's married with a baby and all that kind of stuff. And it's, I mean, not that my meeting with him changed his life completely, but I'm really happy that I witnessed that little journey of his. And I felt quite, as a foreigner, I felt quite good about saying to him, "Respect your health," you know, and don't just sell your banana. Because there are plenty of middle-aged white men who would come here with a lot of money who would abuse that, you know. So it's not just about the locals' fault. It's about, well, this is what the West does as well. You know, it uses and abuses this kind of situation. So be careful. I mean, Australians were horrendous in Bali. You know, the way they just used Indonesia and Bali in particular as a place to get drunk, to get stoned, and to have a lot of sex, you know, with people that they could buy. You know, and you're moving into a community that needs the money. You know, so there's a love-hate relationship with the foreigner there of, you know, we love you because of your money, we hate you because of what you're doing to our community, or to my son, or to my daughter, or, you know, whatever. And it's horrendous to see that, absolutely horrendous. So this is one of the sort of major fishing villages.
Do you buy fish there?
Yeah, we do. My partner's been making a documentary about post-377 being turned over, like the decriminalisation of gay sex. And they've been asking a lot of people from different various levels of society what they think about homosexuality. And what they found is that the people that are living in villages like this and who are selling the fish on the street had less problem than the more educated.
Why?
And it was, their thing was, well, if you're happy, you're happy. What right do they have to deny someone's happiness?
Yeah.
And most of the prejudice, you know, certainly against LGBTQ plus, is British born or Western born. I mean, before the West came here, you know, it was just, well, it's fine, generally.
Even historically, if you go like thousands of years back,
Yeah.
India, I think India was like pretty open, like
Yeah,
sex
absolutely.
in general. Like,
and they
you know,
weren't calling it gay or straight. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
just calling it another.
Yeah.
You know, that there's another way to live. You know?
Yeah.
So it was the West that brought all the prejudice in. I mean, 377 was a British sanctioned section in the law. It's quite interesting. In this village, there's a lot of young actors and artists because it's quite affordable in here.
I'm kind of curious, like, what's the percentage of like successful cases, like people come to Mumbai for film industry and then they actually make it?
It would
Probably
be
not high.
very, very, very low.
Same as it is everywhere.
Everywhere, you know, thousands. I mean, the difference being here is that you can get off a bus and say, I'm an actor, because it's so unregulated. Whereas somewhere in Australia, I mean, it's very, very difficult to even get an agent if you're not trained. But yeah, the percentage of people who, whatever making it means, that make it is very, very low. I mean, my idea of making it is being a working artist, not necessarily a star, you know, and it's certainly something I try to tell my students, you know, aim to be a working artist, you've probably got more of a chance. If you're aiming to be a star, you have very, very limited opportunity to become famous. Fame is a byproduct.
I've read that Indians, the most successful immigrants in the US,
wow.
the most educated, because like all the IT jobs, a lot
Yeah.
of like these tech companies, they have like Google management, a lot of Indians in Google management.
Oh, look, I mean, from my experience, Indian people are a sponge for knowledge. They're really good learners, very clever people. And I think it's partly because, I mean, the language thing of having so many languages, and language is quite mathematical, you know, so it's, they grow up knowing.
And I guess also like casting culture, or like hardworking.
Yeah.
They want to make it alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you don't work, you don't eat.
Some people reacted quite a bit in the comments
Yeah.
when you mentioned about like black market, how you said the economy would not survive without the black market. And some people say, oh, it's like a bit of exaggeration.
It depends how people are living, I suppose. I mean, if you were living in areas like this, then you access things like black market services quite a lot.
Yeah.
You know, if you're living in an area where, you know, you can call Nature's Basket, you know, the most expensive supermarket, and just get everything delivered, then you're probably not tapping into it. So, look, I mean, yes, the black market exists, and, you know, 8 out of 10 Indians will say yes, it does. But I think what those people misunderstood, they were thinking I was calling this the black market.
Yeah.
And this is not the black market.
Yeah.
You know, this is very legitimate. These people pay their taxes, like all of us do. You know. This is our fruit and veg.
How fresh are them?
Very fresh. Well, it depends on what day. Some days there's the crap, you know, and
Yeah.
they've got a delivery coming. But it's generally pretty fresh. I mean, it's interesting because in Western supermarkets, you know, there's fruit and veg is so treated that everything looks perfect. You know, here you're going to buy a potato with a bit of a black spot, you know, or a carrot that's a bit weird looking. Gosh, Mumbai is one of the most well-fed places I've ever been in. There is food everywhere. Food absolutely everywhere. There's a bakery around the corner if I want a chicken pie. But it always seems silly to spend too much money on eating out when you can eat in like street stalls, etc. for very, very inexpensive. And the food's fantastic.
Have you ever had a food poisoning?
The only time I've had food poisoning was I had Subway. I had a Subway sandwich and I got really sick.
Eat fresh.
Apart from that, I've never been unwell from food. And I eat everything, you know. I mean, I eat everything from the street.
What's that? I don't know.
Sugarcane.
Sugarcane.
Dough sugarcane butter.
nice.
It's funny though, there's some areas where you can't find
sugarcane.
sugarcane wallah. And then there's other areas like this where there's 2 or 3. Sugarcane is like high energy drink. It's natural.
Used to have sugarcane in
sugars.
Hawaii.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful. And for a thirst quencher, if you're really thirsty, have a sugarcane.
Water-wise, it's safe, like ice and water.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
My first 3 years I'd have no ice, but now. Cheers.
Cheers. It's very good. You, when you first come to India, to Mumbai, was it like shocking for you? Like so many people in the streets, like so many
Look,
cars and stuff.
I certainly noticed it, but I never felt scared or worried. I wouldn't say I was ever shocked. I think because I'm a little bit older, I was quite able to, recognize, okay, this isn't Australia, this isn't my home.
Yeah.
This isn't anything I know, and to accept it. It was an adventure, that's for sure. I mean, even going out and buying eggs. Oh my God, where do I get eggs from? The learning process was huge, of just daily things that we take for granted. But that was, part of the reason why I wanted to be here. I wanted to be out of my comfort zone. I wanted to be reminded that it's quite a big world, and Australia isn't the only way that people are living. So it's done its job.
One of the best reasons to go out,
that's for sure.
out of your own
You're
country.
so sweet. Thanks for watching the next video. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed like that was wonderful.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
And he seemed like a lovely man.
Yeah.
In general, but it also gives like people that have these stereotypes about India and how unsafe I mean, obviously it always depends on where you go, just like anywhere. Obviously, go in the United States, there's so many unsafe cities to go to and all that kind of stuff. So, but like the stereotypes people have of like it's unsafe here, or you can't eat this, or blah blah blah. It seems like he's one well adjusted to a life that a lot of white people aren't accustomed to, especially from Western countries. So being the only one in a sea of people that are all the same.
Yep. Yeah, and it's adjustment to any culture. I mean, I could tell you firsthand, Indrani's experience of coming here, even though she had always dreamed of being in America and she related to and understood American culture so, so well, it was a long process of adjustment.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, it's going to be a long process of adjustment. Some would be lesser than, but even, for example, an English-speaking place like London, with predominantly people there that are very similar to what you would find in America, you move to London, you're still going to be dealing with a lot of change, a lot of transition. And it is one of the most important things I think anybody could do. And it's not something everybody can do because it's not a cheap thing to do. But the more you could travel and see other parts of the world, I think it makes you an absolutely better human being.
Also, I guess banana means penis.
I guess so.
I thought he was actually talking about
I did too. I thought he actually had a banana.
And then he was like,
for
"Do you have a
sale."
condom?" I'm like, what? Wait, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I needed to pick up on the lingo.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was like, wait, I thought he was just wanting to sell you a banana.
Yeah.
But obviously he clearly wasn't.
Clearly.
But I love that story about he took him to the theater to tell.
Yeah, that's a great story. That's a great story. He saw an old Polish play about totalitarianism.
That's one of the things.
That's great.
Next time we go to Mumbai, I would love to see.
Oh,
one, if Nasir is obviously doing a play, I would love to go to a Nasir play. Seems like he's.
Do they have subtitles at the plays?
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
That would be funny. Well, we saw an entire film.
We did. We had a lot of help from Indrani.
Yeah. But that was wonderful. Let us know if there's other videos we can react to like this and any thoughts you had on it down below.
Juice!